Actually, a lot of
Hello and a very warm welcome. Thank you, Pranavi, for joining in despite of your hectic schedule. You show up in this session means a lot to me, and that talks massively about the kind of person you are and the kind of commitment that you hold towards your own goal.
yeah. Thank you so much, Karishma.
Thank you for being here with me on this journey. Let me very quickly start sharing the screen and we shall start reading because today we are going to dive into the self in the self respect. And I believe that this is going to be absolutely interesting. So, when you read the topic, the self in the self respect, what is it that comes to your mind, Pranavi?
The self in the self respect.
Mhm.
Mm, the core of the core. I mean, self respect is something you're gaining from the I don't know, the outer world or whatever, but that self respect is formed deep inside the core, and that is called as self. That is what I'm feeling.
Mhm. When I think of it, it feels as if, you know, when we talk of respect, it can be from anywhere. But when we are talking about self respect, it
Mm-hmm.
cannot be with the self. You have to find out reasons, you have to find out ways to respect yourself enough to have that self respect. And if you do not respect your own self, I believe that you cannot train other people to respect you as well. This is my understanding of self-respect. And self in the self-respect, let's read what does the author has to share. The self in self-respect. Perhaps the greatest mistakes we make, which causes a loss of self-respect, is making the opinions of others more important than our own opinions of ourselves. Self-respect means just what it says. It originates from the self. This self originated in the universal field of intention that intended you here, from the infinite formless state to the being of molecules and physical substance. If you fail to respect yourself, you are showing contempt for the process of creation. Oh, yes, this reminds me of what we read yesterday, how it was saying that if you do not love yourself, respect yourself, that means that you are not loving the creation of the creator.
Yes.
Yeah. So now self respect is also related to that only, right? That the creator has created something amazing, something beautiful, something which has its own flavor. And if you are not respecting that, that means that you are disrespecting the creator as well. Hmm.
Yes.
You will find no shortage of opinions directed at you. If you allow them to undermine your self respect, you are seeking the respect of others over your own and you are abdicating yourself. Then you are attempting to reconnect to the field of intention with low energy attitudes of judgment, hostility, and anxiety. You will cycle into low energy vibrations that will simply force you to attract more and more of these lower energies into your life. Remember, it's high energy that nullifies and converts low energy. Light eradicates darkness. Love dissolves hate. If you have allowed any of those lower negative thoughts and opinions directed your way to become the basis of your self portrait, you are asking the universal mind do the same. Why? Because at the highest frequencies, the universal source of intention is pure creativeness, love, kindness, beauty, and abundance. Self respect attracts the higher energy. Lack of self respect attracts the lower. It knows no other way. The negative viewpoint of others represent their low energy ego working on you. Very simply, if you are judging anyone, you aren't loving them at that moment. The judgments coming your way, likewise, are unloving but have nothing to do with your self respect. Their judgments and yours as well distance you from your source and therefore away from the power of intention. As my friend and colleague Gernal Jampolsky observed, when I am able to resist the temptation to judge others, I can see them as teachers of forgiveness in my life, reminding me that I can only have peace of mind when I forgive rather than judge. This is so beautiful. You want me to repeat this?
Yeah.
When I am able to resist the temptations to judge others, I can see them as teachers of forgiveness in my life, reminding me that I can only have peace of mind when I forgive rather than judge. This is how you return to the self in self respect. Rather than judging those who judge you, thereby lowering your self respect, you send them a silent blessing of forgiveness and imagine them doing the same towards you. You are connecting to intention and guaranteeing that you will always respect the divinity that you are. You have cleared the path to be able to enjoy the great powers that is yours in the field of intention. All right. Do you want to share anything on this front?
It's like it's better to not judge anyone, and it's better to seek them. I mean, consciously, you need to avoid the tempting of judging others. So once if you do that, you are somewhere in the mood of forgiveness, and that leads to higher vibrations. And when you are in the, when you're vibrating at a higher frequency, again you are in union with the power of intention. That's what I understood.
One more thing that that has hit my mind as just now, that is
Mhm.
that when we are judging somebody,
Mhm.
that is wrong, right?
Yeah.
We are going away from the power of intention. When
Yes.
somebody else is judging us,
Mm-hmm.
that is not our thing. But if we start judging that person for judging us,
Mm-hmm.
then the cycle goes wrong. So instead of judging that person, we have to forgive that person for judging us.
Yes.
That is when we adapt this habit of forgiving others for judging us, is
Mm-hmm.
when the cycle is going to get into the right loop.
Yes. Yeah, this so lively. I mean, our community is a very big, very very big community, Karishma. So a lot of gossips keep happening, and I used to listen to the what all they have spoken about me. And that girl, she used to feel intimidated. I mean, she has lost that intimacy with me, and she stopped calling and all that. Then she somewhere came to know that I knew that. But then after when she has called me, I said, "Who has told anything? No one has told anything about you. I'm with the same frequency. You are the one who have kept me in distance." But I had tons and tons of angriness on her. But I didn't say anything, Karishma, because it was. I feel that it's just a temporary condition, and whenever you need friends, no, it's better to ignore. And for the next time, you need to be careful about that relation. That's it. So I think this all comes with a kind of experience and maturity, Karishma. But then if we learn, that's a better choice. Huh? Hmm. That's what I understood. Yeah.
Wow. Nice. Making your intentions your reality. In this concluding section, you will find 10 ways to practice nurturing your intention to respect yourself at all times. 10 steps. Wow. Step number 1. Look into your mirror, make eye contact connection with yourself, and say, I love me, as many times as possible during the day. I love me. These 3 magic words help you maintain your self respect. Now, be aware that saying these words may be difficult at first because of the conditions you have been exposed to over a lifetime. And because the words may bring to the surface remnants of disrespect that your ego wants you to hold on. Your immediate impulse might be to see this as an expression of your ego's desire to be superior to anyone else. But this is not an ego statement at all. It's an affirmation of self respect. Transcend that ego mind and affirm your love for yourself and your connection to the Spirit of God. This does not make you superior to anyone. It makes you equal to all and celebrates that you are a piece of God. Affirm it from your own self respect. Affirm it in order to be respectful of that which intended you here. Affirm it because it is the way you will stay connected to your source and regain the power of intention. I love me. Say it without embarrassment. Say it proudly and be the image of love and self-respect. Step number 2. Write the following affirmation and repeat it over and over again to yourself. I am whole and perfect as I was created. I am whole and perfect as I was created. Carry this through with you wherever you go. Have it laminated and place it in your pocket, on your dashboard, on your refrigerator, or next to your bed. Allow the words to become a source of high energy and self respect. By simply carrying these words with you and being in the same place with them, in the same space with them, their energy will flow directly to you. Self respect emerges from the fact that you respect the source from which you came and you have made a decision to reconnect to that source, regardless of what anyone else might think. It's very important to keep reminding yourself at the beginning that you are worthy of infinite respect from the one source you can always count on, the pieces of God energy that defines you. This reminder will do wonders for your self respect and consequently your ability to use the power of intention in your life. Over and over, remind yourself I am not my body. I am not my accumulations. I am not my achievements. I am not my reputation. I am whole and perfect as I was created. Amazing. Pranavi, do you want to take over from here?
Yeah. Step 3. Extend more respect to others and to all of life. Perhaps the greatest secret of self esteem is to appreciate other people more. The easiest way to do this is to see the unfolding of God in them. Look past the judgment of others' appearance, failures, and successes, their status in society, their wealth or lack of it, and extend appreciation and love to the source from which they came. Everyone is a child of God. Everyone. Try to see this even in those who behave in what appears to be a godless fashion. Know that by extending love and respect, you can turn that energy so that it's heading back to its source rather than away from it. In short, send out respect because that is what you have to give away. Send out judgment and low energy, and that is what you will attract back. Remember, when you judge another, you do not define them. You define yourself as someone who needs to judge. The same applies to judgments directed at you. Step 4. Affirm to yourself and all others that you meet, I belong. A sense of belonging is one of the highest attributes on Abraham Maslow's pyramid of self actualization, which I discuss at the beginning of the next chapter. Feeling that you don't belong or you are in the wrong place can be due to lack of self respect. Respect yourself and your divinity by knowing that everyone belongs. This should never come into question. Your presence here in the universe is proof alone that you belong here. No person decides if you belong here. No government determines if someone belongs and some don't. This is an intelligent system that you are a part. The wisdom of creation intended you to be here in this place, in this family, with these siblings and parents occupying this precious space. Say it to yourself and affirm it whenever necessary. I belong, and so does everyone else. No one is here by accident. Yeah. Step 5. Remind yourself that you are never alone. My self respect stays intact, and as long as I know that it's impossible for me to be alone. I have a senior partner who never abandoned me and who stuck with me even in moments when I had seemingly deserted my source. I feel that if the universal mind has enough respect to allow me to come here and to work through me and to protect me in times when I strayed onto dangerous non spiritual stuff, then this partnership deserves my reciprocal respect. I recall my friend Pat McMahon, a talk show host on KTAR radio in Phoenix, Arizona, telling me about his encounter with Mother Teresa in his studio before interviewing her for his program. He pleaded with her to allow him to do something for her. Anything at all, he begged. I would like to help you in some way. She looked at him and said, tomorrow morning, get up at 4 a.m. and go out onto the streets of Phoenix. Find someone who lives there and believes that he's alone and convince him that he's not. Great advice, because everyone who wallows in self doubt or appears to be lost has lost their self respect because they have forgotten that they are not alone.
Wow.
So, yeah, this is actually in depth, Karishma.
Mhm.
I mean,
So this
seriously.
reminds me of a poem. When I was
Mm-hmm.
a very little child, we always had this poster stuck on the wall,
Mm-hmm.
which was footprints.
Okay.
Do you know? Have you heard of it?
Footprints is nothing, but I don't know. I I mean, in my ashram, I read about in his footprints. That's it. I don't have much idea of it,
Okay,
Karishma.
so
I mean,
footprint
from your
had
point.
this. So footprints is a poem which talks about how this girl was walking on the shore, and when she looks back, she sees a set of you know um
Her
feet,
footprints.
the footprints, yes.
Yeah.
And so when she sees that, she sees there are two footprints together. Okay, so the four prints are there.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like happy that yes, invisibly as well, if God is walking along with me, He is with me, and I can see it through the footprints. So
Lovely.
she gets into a big trouble, and she's devastated and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And while in this turmoil and everything, she looks back and she sees that there is only one footprint there, and she feels even more hurt that yeah, when everything was going right at that time, you were walking beside me, and now that things are not right for me, you have also left me alone.
Mm-hmm.
And again, when the things turned around, things were good. She again sees that the four steps are there, footprints are there. So
Mm-hmm.
she stops and asks God, "What is this? Are you making a fool out of me or what?" And then God says, "Ki, while you were in the turbulence, I was holding you in my hands, and that is why there is only one footprint because you were not walking. I had you in my hands." So
Lovely.
that is something that's, that came to my mind when remind yourself that you are never alone. That
Lovely.
is something that, really like, I had a flashback on. Ki, haan, that poem was very beautiful. I'll look out for, it, and I'll share it in the group as well.
Truly, it's truly amazing, Karishma.
Mm.
I mean, it is like symbolizing that we are not alone, and there is
Yes.
some, yeah, true. So,
Yes.
yeah, just a moment. Step 6, respect your body. You have been provided with the perfect body to house your inner invisible being for a few brief moments in eternity. Regardless of its size, shape, color, or any imagined infirmities, it's a perfect creation for the purpose that you were intended here for. You don't need to work at getting healthy. Health is something you already have if you don't disturb it. You may have disturbed your health body by overfeeding it, under exercising it, and overstimulating it with toxins or drugs that make it sick, fatigued, jumpy, anxious, depressed, bloated, ordinary, or an endless list of maladies. You can begin the fulfillment of this intention to live a life of self respect by honoring the template that houses you. You know what to do. You don't need another diet, workout manual, or personal trainer. Go within, listen to your body, and treat it with all of dignity and love that your self respect demands. So, I think this is clear only. No, Karishma need not discuss about it. Step
Yeah.
7, meditate to stay in conscious contact with your source, which always respects you. I repeat, meditate to stay in conscious contact with your source, which always respects you. I can't say this enough. Meditation is a way to experience what the five senses cannot detect. When you are connected to the field of intention, you are connected to the wisdom that's within you. That divine wisdom has great respect for you and it cherishes you while you are here. Meditation is a way to ensure that you stay in a state of self respect. Regardless of all that goes on around you, when you enter into the sacred space of meditation, all doubts about your value as an esteemed creation dissolves. You will emerge from the solemnity. The meaning is quality of being formal, of meditation, feeling connected to your source and enjoying respect for all beings, particularly yourself. Step 8, make amends. Amends is nothing but money paid as compensation. Make amends with adversaries. The act of making amends sends out a signal of respect for your adversities. By radiating this forgiving energy outward, you will find the same kind of respectful positive energy flowing back towards you. By being big enough to make amends and replace energy of anger, bitterness, and tension with kindness, even if you still insist that you're right, you will respect yourself much more than prior to your act of forgiveness. If you're filled with rage towards anyone, there is a huge part of you that resents the presence of this debilitating energy. Take a moment right here and now to simply face that person who stands out in your mind as someone you hurt or directed hurt to you and tell him or her that you would like to make amends. You will notice how much better you feel. That good feeling of having cleared the air is self respect. It takes much more courage, strength of character, and inner conviction to make amends than it does to hang on to the lower energy feeling.
I think here amends is like amendments, like corrections.
Yeah, I mean, as per the Kindle meaning, it is saying that money paid as compensation Similar to this is restitution, redress, indemnity, a sum of money paid in compensation for loss of injury.
But that does not make sense in this here, no?
Yeah.
It is more like, checking what's wrong and then correcting it.
Yeah, compensate or make up for a wrongdoing. Try to make amends
Yes.
for the rude way you spoke to Lucy. Try to make amends. He just compensate is the answer he's trying to tell, but then he's actually, Wikipedia wise, amends is episode 10 of season 3 of television. Oh, this is something different.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah. Always remember the self in self respect. In order to do this, you must recognize that the opinions of others towards you are not facts, they are opinions. When I speak to an audience of 500 people, there are 500 opinions of me in the room at the end of the evening. I am none of those opinions. I cannot be responsible for how they view me. The only thing I can responsible for is my own character, and this is true for every one of us. If I respect myself, then I'm relying on the self in self respect. If I doubt myself or punish myself, I have not only lost my self respect, I will continue to attract more and more doubt and lower energy opinions with which to further punish myself. You cannot stay linked to the universal mind, which intends all of us here, if you fail to rely on yourself for your self respect. Step 10, be in a state of gratitude. You will discover that gratitude is a final step in each succeeding chapter. Be an appreciator rather than a depreciator of everything that shows up in your life. When you're saying thank you, God, for everything, and when you're expressing gratitude for your life and all that you see and experience, you're respecting the creation. This respect is within you, and you can only give away what you have inside. Being in state of gratitude is the exact same thing as being in state of respect for yourself, which you give away freely and which will return to you tenfold. I close this chapter with the words of Jesus of Nazareth speaking through his apostle Saint Matthew. Be perfect, therefore, as your heavenly Father is perfect. Reconnect to the perfection from which you originated. You cannot have any more self respect than that.
This is so beautiful. Respect
Yeah.
yourself because
Yeah.
you are you are a child of such so I also believe that we will love ourselves more, we will respect ourselves more when we realize that we are actually the child of God. If your father, so I keep on telling my kids this: if you want yourself to be treated like princesses, you need to understand your dad is the king.
Mm-hmm.
Unless and
Yeah.
until you respect him and love him as much as you would do to a king, just remember that you will not be loved and respected as a queen or a princess. Why do I keep telling that to them? Because there are times when they have,
Mm-hmm.
problems with their dad. Papa ne aise bola, and then
Yeah, they
they're
keep
like,
on saying, oh my God, that's true.
so So I have to keep on reminding them that. And each time I remind them of that, I remind myself of it as well, that yes, if I treat my husband like a king, then only I can be a queen. If I treat him like a pauper, then who is the wife of pauper? Right?
Yes.
And at the
Yes.
same time, this is also a reminder to me that if I'm a child of God, how can I have any less attributes than he has? Maybe a little less I can be, but again, if I am actually the child of God, then I am going to be at least a speck of that. And it is so perfect that उसकी उनकी एक perfection भी मेरे अंदर आ जाए तो that will be huge.
Yes.
So I need to operate at all times with that energy so that I replicate that जिनकी मैं
Yes.
बेटी हूँ.
True. It's like imbibing into the children's heart, and as well as in turn, it's again a direction that we are imbibing those things into our heart as our being as well. So, yeah, it really works, Karishma. True, so true.
So there are so many moments. I believe that I have been talking to multiple women because I work with women. So
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact that there are so many people so many women out there who do not respect their husbands. And I just have this, I always have this condition for them. Tell me, how do you treat your husband? And they're like, he is worthless. I'm like, what do you think? Whom would he marry?
True.
And then they're like, what do you want us to do? Medic. Then I tell them, treat him like a king so that he treats you like a queen. He will have to treat you like a queen. अगर आप बोलते रहोगे, so even if my husband tells me I'm a common man, I'm like, for me, you are the best, you are the king, because I cannot be anything less than a queen. And I actually tell him this as well. I cannot be anything less than a queen. So you have to be a king. अभी आप जैसे मर्जी बनो, I don't care. But I am a queen. You have to understand that.
True.
If he does not want to act like a king, he will deliberately have to work like he act like a king when he is talking to me.
Yes.
So that is kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy that I have built in him. In a, that is I am the queen. I know it. I know it. अभी I cannot marry a pauper or anybody else. ना common man से थोड़ी ना मैं शादी करूँगी. I have to have a king besides me. So that is you.
True. True. Exactly.
So, yeah. That was a short read, but
Yeah.
yes, nice and crisp. Lots of things that we can work on, and especially for the ones I was talking to in the 2 p.m. club.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to them about self-respect and self-worth. I
Mm-hmm.
think these are the points that I should be sharing with them as well in tomorrow's session,
Yeah.
because this will help them and guide them to how to and where to start.
Yes.
Tomorrow we will be diving on chapter number 8, which
Mm-hmm.
talks about it is my intention to live my life on purpose. It is my intention to live my life on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That means we are going to understand about purpose and intention.
Yes.
All right. Have a good night's sleep. Pranavi, do you want to share anything before we end this session?
To be very honest, Karishma, I'm totally exhausted. And
देखा भगवान ने
though
भी आपकी सुन ली कि एग्जॉस्टेड है, जल्दी खत्म करो चैप्टर को आज.
I don't know, but then these things need read multiple. It needs multiple readings to get into the depth of it, Karishma. But then now at a subtler level, I understood. I need to work at a deeper level, but seriously, I don't have time in my hands. But I felt happy to myself that there are angels for me to at least discuss about this at this particular moment. So in that way, I have grasped the things around, but then little more work is needed.
So, Pranavi, when you decided, that you wanted to read this book, because you were actually reading this book earlier as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, till what part of the book had you already read?
No, no, it's all bits and pieces, Karishma. It's
Okay.
like I don't know, but then somehow I'm becoming so busy that I'm not finding time to sit alone and read a big book, Though I have finished the Miracle Mornings. That
All
is
right.
really nice. So I'm actually working on that because in the morning book reading session, that book was going through. I mean, it has come to an end, but then from past a week, I'm not attending that book reading session as well because totally busy with all these functions. I don't know. I don't know why society
Okay.
is so pressured on me that. Oh my God.
So it's okay, Pranavi, because that is how life is, right?
Yeah,
Each
yeah,
time we stumble, we just have to get back on our toes and start walking again. So don't worry,
yes.
it is just a phase, and
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
sure
phase.
that you
It's a
will
phase. Yeah,
back.
and the thing is, there will be days. Actually, Karishma, cause I'm not working because I'm not supposed to work. I schedule my time from hour to hour, like how well I have done and how the things are going on. But then once if this kind of parties and all, they come up and they shake me, no, I will go totally into some kind of confusion. But then I need to
Hmm.
get acquainted with this as well. Maybe after 2 or 3 days, I'll become more free, Karishma. Then I can try to work in a deeper level like that.
Yet
Right.
you are showing up. Yet you're showing up is also another level of courage that it takes, that you
Yeah.
are into so many pulls and push and pulls of life,
Yeah.
and
Yes. Yes.
yet you show up, at least somehow you bring yourself back home. So that in
Yes.
itself
Yes.
is takes a lot of
I don't know.
courage.
I
So
get attracted to this words called as no matter what. No matter what, you need to work on your own goals, and this is at last at the end of my breath. These are the ones which counts to me. I have that clarity in me, Karishma. So no matter what, you have to sit and work on it. So yeah.
that is how you stay on and you catch the rhythm of it actually.
Yeah,
I mean,
everywhere.
if I, if I'm sleeping at 12 and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
telling myself every morning, oh, Ray, I slept late at night, now I cannot do this and that. I can have ample number of, reasons
Reasons. Yes.
why not to wake up. But each
Yes.
time when I tell myself, no matter what happens, no matter what time I sleep, if I have
Yeah.
to wake up at 4 in the morning to meditate, I have to do it. Now it is
Yes.
your, responsibility whether you immediately after the book reading club go off to sleep, or you want to chit chat and watch TV and do all of that. You
Yes.
make yourself, you set your routine that way. But 4 p.m. is a non-negotiable. उठना है तो उठना है no matter what.
Yeah. And I don't know, Karishma, at times this kind of obsession, it kills me. It's like I get, I mean, every person has their own kinds of obsessions. Me though, if I never see my weighing scale as such, but then if I feel little bit obese or fat inside me, that kills me. And no matter what, if I try to work on it, I have severe heel pain. These days, that heel pain is existing so badly. And
Why
just
does that
imagine,
happen? I also have it actually.
yeah, but once you hit 40s, no, Karishma, your body alignment and your feet alignment, and it depends upon the weight also. So if it falls, I mean, if the upper body is heavier than your lower body, if your legs are not able to take it, then there is, always a chance of getting pain in your heels. I mean, before 40s, your age has accepted every fault in it, but then after hitting 40s, no, it will start responding to our way of this thing. So it's like such a tough thing to me, Karishma. With those heel pain itself, I go for walks, and that is so painful. And in fact, we are not supposed to do that. We need to rest our legs. But then I have that obsession of, that no matter what, I
I've
have to
also
finish it.
exactly. I have also, committed to this thing. Ki no matter what,
Yeah,
6,000 steps to karna hi hai, no matter what. And then
yes,
at night, I'm just walking and walking, and my husband is like, "Are you grown crazy?" Because no, 6,000 ke baad, 6,001 pe I will sit.
true, 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 true. But
But the
that kind of
6,000 I need to see.
true, 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 true. Even that kind of obsession shouldn't be there, Karishma. But then somehow I got addicted to. But then we need to relax our body also. See, we have to respect our body also. But that's what I'm
For
telling. No,
me, for me, it's like I actually rest my body a little too much. That is why I'm obese, like overly obese.
it's not like
So
that. It's not like that, Karishma. It's basically 60 to 70%. As a trainer, I can tell you, assertively that it is basically due to 60 to 70% of our gene factor. There are so many people in the world who eat more than us, and who, I mean, they eat a lot of junk and all that stuff, and still they can stay. I can't say fit. Fit is not the word I can use, but still they can stay slim, and because it's their body's metabolism. So
Ah,
again, that's again a big problem. There are, I mean, in my community also, there are two ladies who don't eat anything at all, Karishma. For God's
same here.
sake.
I also feel so bad that I don't even eat, and yet I'm like,
Yeah, it
what is this?
happens. It happens, but then somewhere, I mean, as a trainer, I can tell you is better to approach a nutritionist, and they will tell you ki what kind of nutrients are needed in your body. If you just go ahead and go for diet and all in a haphazard fashion, it again, it's like you're abusing your body. So, yeah, that those all are idiotic obsessions, Karishma. After hitting 40s, also, why the hell I have to work on it? But then, why I'm telling you, these all things will mess me up. Actually, Shant say, if I'm a meditator, I should forget everything and sit and meditate. But my inner child,
That is also possible only you when you tell yourself no matter what. Otherwise, the body is
yeah,
so happy resting.
yes,
Like, it is so peaceful and so beautiful when you're sleeping, resting, doing whatever is in your comfort zone,
true.
watching Netflix, and everything is so much into and our body never ever asks us, PR, why are you just sitting and watching Netflix? It is enjoying, it is very happy. The
Yes,
moment you
yes,
start walking, hey,
yes.
6K, 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 that moment your body will say, hey, tu pagal hai kya? You are going walking, 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 walking. Why? Because it is getting uncomfortable doing that.
Yes, yes, Karishma. And that too, at times these days, what I'm feeling, if I see people around, oh my God, this girl doesn't has heel pain. How happily she can jog, how happily she can run. Oh my God, my heel pains are they're just disturbing my stamina or whatever. I mean, I feel like that. But it's all, I don't know. I think I need to evolve into much more higher levels, Karishma. That's what I'm telling you. If I get obsessed with a few things, they get stick
What
on
you
to
need to
my.
see is whenever you are finding somebody better than you, just
Mhm.
understand that you have that in you. It is just a little tweak that you need to do in your own routine to get that.
Yes, yes,
Each time I talk to you, I feel that yes, if I can see Pranavi, such a fit person, such a good yoga instructor and everything, I feel,
true.
wow, I think I have it in me. That is why she's in my room. God is sending me a
Yes,
message
yes,
that,
yes.
Grishma, you can be it, but you
True.
just need to make some tweaks in your life to be that.
That's it.
Now,
That's
whether
it.
you do that or not is on to you.
Yeah, and end of the day, it's like the fitness also, no, Karishma. And not only the looks and all, but then if we are fit enough, that is also a great gift. So true, true. That's true. So
Chalo.
yeah, all
Thank
right.
you once again, Pranavi, for
Yeah, yeah.
joining in.
Thank
God
you to
bless
you also,
you.
darling.
Have a good night's sleep. Enjoy
Yeah,
your sleep. May
yeah.
you be healed fully in your sleep
I
tonight.
took a break for yoga also, Karishma. I just returned back from Goa 2 days back, right? I just told them that I'm having back-to-back parties till Sunday. I seriously have. But the thing is, I can use my little more willpower to take the classes as well. But then somewhere I'm totally,
No, no,
I
rest
mean,
is a must. There are times when you should take a break and a good break so that when you come back, you have so much better energy and so much more, you know, so much more in yourself to give out to the world. And
yes,
for
yes.
that, those pauses are very important.
That is what I thought, Karishma. And I directly told that I need to take a break till Sunday. So from Monday, I would take the classes. They said, okay. So I was
And
like, fine. Before Pranavi used to be more energetic and more this thing. But these days it's better. That's okay. I mean, these days I'm learning to be okay also, Karishma. Why should I always be that damn perfect? And I don't know which book I read. I think it's Miracle Morning, Kaadu. Antakante Mundu, I read some other book which the author says that there is nothing called perfect. It's we the humans who have decided that this is right, this is wrong, this is perfect, and this is imperfect. So from that time to I'm feeling that no, nothing is perfect. I need to be okay with everything. Need to be a little flexible.
Just imagine if Elon Musk thought that he was perfect, he would not evolve. He will stay there only. No, even if
True.
he is also evolving every single day. He is also
True.
bringing out something even better. That
True.
means there is nothing called perfection. You have to keep
Yes.
evolving every day. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, Karishma. So yeah, that was a great learning, in fact. So yeah,
Chalo.
all right,
Good
darling.
night. God
Yeah,
bless you.
take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye, darling. Bye.